time. She's incompetent. Have you seen her? She goes into an interview with Oprah, and she can't answer any questions. She can't answer any questions. This is bad timing for Kamala to show up today at the border. She didn't go there for 4 years. Now today she shows up, and these numbers got released. Somebody doesn't like her, I think. And the fake news. So I don't know, maybe she's already gone. I doubt it, but she's went to the border today. She wants to see if she could salvage, make up some lies, like she said about the border bill that Trump stopped. Let me tell you, number one, I didn't stop it. The senator stopped it. But that's the worst bill ever drawn. It's a waste of paper, and she doesn't need a bill. All she has to do is fly back to Washington and get this president that we have, if he's still president. I don't even know who the hell is president. Is he president? This is not exactly President Xi. He runs his country a little differently, although they do go after their political opponents pretty violently. I will say that. But they don't go after the murderers, the drug dealers. Get this guy to sign a little dot. You sign right over the little dots. And you sign your name, Joe Biden, and you say on it to Border Patrol, close the border, and they close the border. That's what I did. Our border is open. Our border is open. Nobody can believe it. And I've been saying that the people coming in, I know these leaders so street smart, and I would have been worse than them because actually Venezuela still has some people in their jails. I would have had everybody out into the United States. They probably ran out of buses and planes. But the rest of them are coming, don't worry about it. But all over the world, not just in South America, all over the world, they're coming from the Congo and Africa. A lot of people coming from the Congo and Africa. And these are serious criminals coming out of jails, mostly from jails. A lot of gang members, they take their gangs off the street. Like in Caracas, Venezuela, the criminals have all been brought to the United States. Their crime rate is down in Caracas. In fact, I suggest if I lose, I'll tell you what, it's possible because they cheat. That's the only way we're going to lose, because they cheat. They cheat like hell. If we lose, the next time we're going to have the same group of people in Caracas, Venezuela, because it's much safer than any place in our country if she wins. Much safer. So let's go to Caracas. It was a very unsafe place. Now because in Venezuela, their crime is down 72% because they've taken their criminals, their gang members, their drug dealers, and they've brought them into the United States of America, and they're also releasing almost all of their prisoners. Soon the almost will be gone. Their prisons will be empty. Their mental institutions and insane asylums will be empty. They're dumping them in our country, and I never had proof. And those fake news reporters back there, they say, Trump, what would he know about that? What would he know? You know why? It's common sense. We're the party of common sense, by the way, just so you know. Common sense. So these numbers just came out. Nobody's ever seen these numbers for years. Nobody's ever seen them. And probably some patriot in ICE or somebody just did something. They just said the country's going bad. You can't have a country like that. We have, think of it, murderers, convicted murderers in prison for life. Many get the electric chair or they get whatever their form of death penalty. These are convicted people for life are now in our country, and I can finally look at them and see, I say, I told you so to the fake news. These are hard, tough, vicious criminals that are free to roam in our country. And now for the first time I can say it, and I knew it before. When you have open borders, but they're dumping everybody in here. I knew it before, but these numbers are actually worse than I ever thought. They should have been released far earlier so that we could have done something about it. I wish we had them 3 years ago, but we didn't. And now we have a problem, and you can't have her as your president. She doesn't know what the hell she's doing. She should resign in disgrace for what she's done to our country, not run for president. She was the border czar. She was the border czar. She was in charge. I don't even care about him. What the hell? No, he put her in charge, though. She was the border czar. Now she claims she wasn't the border czar, but she was in charge of the border. Call her what you want. 4 years ago, Kamala Harris inherited the most secure border in U.S. history. And as border czar, she then set the all-time record for illegal immigration into our country every single year. And many of these people were stone cold criminals and murderers. She willfully and deliberately erased her own nation's borders, a crime so wicked as to defy description. As former ICE director and a great man, Tom Homan. Anybody know Tom Homan? Tom Homan, I say, is central casting for doing what he does better than anybody. Brandon Judd. Kuwait. Oh, we have great people. These Border Patrol guys, I got to know them all. They're great. They want to do their job. They could sit back and let it happen. They go crazy. They see what's happening to our country, and they're not allowed to do the job. But as Tom Homan just said, just put it out, I've worked with 6 presidents. I know all about police work, and I know all about policies work. I know what policies don't work. President Trump was a game changer, and we saved thousands of lives by securing the southern border. Biden and Harris took the most secure border in my lifetime. This is from Tom Homan. And unsecured it on purpose. So he unsecured the border. They did. I don't know why. They want the votes. They're dumb, or they want to destroy the country. That could be the only 3 things. They're dumb. They want to just have people destroy our country, or they want the votes. You know, they're trying to sign these people up to vote. That's the all-time insult. They are working full-time to sign these people, many of them murderers, to vote so they can cheat on the election, because that's what they do. And they vote against bills. Any bill that wants to secure the vote, the Democrats in Congress fight like hell so they can't get passed. Who would want a bill that says bad things happen with the vote? You want to secure your vote, whether you're a Democrat. Interesting, a lot of Democrats, not the politicians, want to have that. And they don't want to have sanctuary cities, by the way. They don't want it. Only the politicians want it for certain reasons. President Trump, Tom Homan said, was the greatest president in my lifetime. Thank you, Tom. This country was never better off than when he was president. He was unprecedented in his success on the border, and it saved many lives. He was an out-of-the-box thinker, and he got the job done like nobody else could do the job. So that's from Tom Homan. Thank you. I might as well read it. I might as well tell you, because they'll never tell you that. They'll never tell you that, right? They'll never tell you that, Mike. By contrast, Kamala Harris betrayed her oath. She let our cities fail to violent gangs. She let our American sons and daughters be raped and murdered at the hands of vicious monsters. She let American communities be conquered. They're conquering your communities. You go out to Aurora in Colorado, where they're taking over with AK-47s. Real estate. They're in the real estate development business, just like me, except I never got to use guns to do it. They're taking over real estate. And Kamala turned cherished small towns into blighted refugee camps. And you take a look at what's happening in Springfield, Ohio, and the mayor is a nice man. In fact, I think he's an independent or a Republican. And he doesn't know what to do, and he doesn't know what to say. He wants to be nice. 32,000 people. You have 50,000 residents. Beautiful place, beautiful, nice town, no crime, no nothing. They now have 32,000 people dumped into the town, and he's trying to say, we're working very hard to make it comfortable for them. No, those people have to be taken out and brought back to the country from where they came. I'm sorry. The mayor said, we're looking for interpreters. It's so hard to find interpreters because nobody speaks English, right? So we're looking for interpreters. No. You're looking for people that will remove them and bring them back safely to their country. It's not fair. It's not sustainable by any country. What's happening to us in the United States, millions and millions of people, 21 million plus, have been dumped into the United States, and many of them are murderers. Many of them are horrible criminals. What Kamala Harris has done is unforgivable. It's a crime, what she did. It's got to be criminal. There's no greater act of disloyalty than to extinguish the sovereignty of your own nation, and that's what she's done. She's ruined our nation. She's ruined our nation. And, you know, I've always talked about this, and I've talked about it strongly, but I'm just realizing as I'm talking right now, and not even going off a teleprompter because the teleprompter's not tough enough. I'm saying, and by the way, isn't it nice to have a president that doesn't need a teleprompter? But I've never had, thank you. Boy, what a group of people we have. It's a joke. We're laughed at all over the world for our leadership. But I just got this information, so I've never really spoken about this because this is the first time where we have these numbers with 13,000 convicted, jailed murderers, tougher than any of our criminals. We have only one good thing about this, is they make our criminals look like very nice people. These are hardened, horrible criminals, and we have to get them the hell out of our country because they're ruining the fabric of our country. Kamala is directly responsible for the tens of thousands of crimes committed by illegal migrants that she set free into our country. They didn't ask for a name. They didn't ask for a registration number. And many of them don't even have names or registration numbers. They just pour into our country. She has no idea where they're from parts unknown. She's responsible for every bloody crime scene, every funeral, every orphan child. And the great Mark Levin called me a little while ago and said, ask them, because he couldn't believe the numbers either. He said, ask them to ask Kamala, has she ever attended one funeral of the thousands and thousands of people that they've already killed? So I ask you that question. I give that to the fake news so that they can ask that question, because she's right now at the border giving a press conference. She doesn't give a press conference. She doesn't take questions. She'll make a little statement and then run away. She delivered these horrors. She unleashed these atrocities. And blood is on her hands at a level that probably nobody's ever seen in this country before. But on November 5th, Kamala Harris will be held accountable for these crimes. She will be sent back to California. And we will close the border. We will stop the invasion. We will begin the largest deportation operation in American history. And we have no choice but to that. Have no choice. We have no choice. Our country is